Implicit memory is one of the two main types of long-term human memory. It is acquired and used unconsciously, and can affect thoughts and behaviors. One of its most common forms is procedural memory, which helps people performing certain tasks without conscious awareness of these previous experiences. Implicit memory's counterpart is known as explicit memory or declarative memory, which refers to the conscious, intentional recollection of factual information, previous experiences and concepts. Evidence for implicit memory arises in priming, a process whereby subjects are measured by how they have improved their performance on tasks for which they have been subconsciously prepared. Implicit memory also leads to the illusion of truth effect, which suggests that subjects are more likely to rate as true those statements that they have already heard, regardless of their truthfulness. In daily life, people rely on implicit memory every day in the form of procedural memory, the type of memory that allows people to remember how to tie their shoes or ride a bicycle without consciously thinking about these activities. Research into implicit memory indicates that it operates through a different mental process from explicit memory. Empirical evidence suggests infants are only capable of implicit memory because they are unable to intentionally draw knowledge from pre-existing memories. As people mature, they are usually capable of intentional recollection of memory, or explicit memory. However, amnesic patients are usually the exception to developing memory, but are still capable of undergoing priming, to some extent. Since procedural memory is based on automatic responses to certain stimuli, amnesic patients are not affected by their disability when behaving habitually. Some of the child's primary experiences are positive and essential for the physical and mental growth of the child. Others may be traumatic, neglect, parental inadequacy, or possible mental illness, physical or psychological violence, child abuse, even of a sexual nature, as well as the constant frustrations and disillusionments that lead the child to organize its defenses and boost its fantasies. All these experiences cannot be repressed because the hippocampus, necessary for the explicit memory, which is in turn indispensable for repression, is not mature in early infancy. R. Joseph, 1996. Siegel, 1999. On the contrary, the amygdala, which promotes the organization of the implicit memory, undergoes an earlier maturation. R. Joseph, 1996. Therefore, these early experiences, including those that concern the organization of language, can only be deposited in this latter form of memory, and they contribute to the formation of an early unrepressed unconscious nucleus of the self. Mancha, 2003a, in Press. Although the explicit-implicit distinction was introduced during the 1980s, the sort of contrast that it captures is not new. Related distinctions between conscious and unconscious memories, to take just one example, have been around for more than a century. For historical considerations, see Roediger, 1990b. Schachter, 1987. The critical development during the past decade has been the systematic demonstration, exploration, and attempted explanation of dissociations between explicit and implicit memory. Some of these dissociations have been provided by experiments demonstrating that brain-damaged amnesic patients with severe impairments of explicit memory can exhibit intact implicit memory. Others come from studies showing that specific experimental variables produce different and even opposite effects on explicit and implicit memory tasks. The discovery of implicit memory was made by Warrington and Weisskranz, 1974, who studied with priming experiments patients affected by Korsakoff's amnesia, in which the structures of explicit memory are damaged. Subsequently, the procedural dimension of implicit memory has been confirmed. As well as this, the emotional and affective dimension of implicit memory is of particular interest for psychoanalysis. It is linked to the earliest, most significant experiences of the infant with the mother and the surrounding environment.